Yo, my gosh, hello, hello, Anthony and Vince Falcador. And was it outnumbered? I was here earlier for Rust Bucket Rides again, Ben 10 reference. Is that for Caravan? For Caravan, I remember like early episodes of Ben 10. And then some weird late episodes. Oh gosh. Was never a big fan of Ben 10 though. What did I like? What was like on TV at the same time as Ben 10? What? Scooby-Doo! Scooby-Doo's also always on TV. But no, I can't remember what was out. What do you think about it? Was American Dragon on at the same time? Johnny Test. Oh my gosh, Johnny Test was bad. But for some reason I enjoyed watching it. Oh, there we go. There we go. So I'm putting on like a cream. I meant to do earlier. I actually got up at like a decent time this morning. And somehow like all the time just like disappeared. I'm like, okay, I'll just eat some I'll eat my, what's it called, Cocoa Pops bars. Because they're full of vitamins, reinforced with vitamins they are. Please. Now, Johnny Test was sculpted. I liked the sisters, his twin sisters or whatever they were. Because they were scientists. Like me, or like how I wanted to be. Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. Dexter's Laboratory was weird. Sometimes I liked the episodes, like the cheese episode. Other times I absolutely hated it. Basically, any episodes with what's his face in, you know, the big-headed dude. Those are bad episodes. Didn't like him. Hi, Mal. How you doing? Batman was goated. Oh my gosh, Batman. The Justice League. Oh, the Justice League TV show. Perfection. I liked Jon Stewart for Green Lantern in that. And who else was there? Oh, The Question. I absolutely adored The Question in Justice League. No. Oh, so hello everybody. Sorry, I'm going to get my glasses on so I can read chat properly. Time for your daily head pats. Thanks for the head pats. Share Cuptle. Share the head pats. Yeah, wake up for some head pats. Oh, you gotta love them. Manfred. Ha 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 ha. Wait, what's this about Manfred? How did we get onto Manfred? I still don't have gloves, but they should be arriving today. Like 10 big boxes of them. But here we go. Here's the Rusty Wagon. Oh wait, I've not got chat on my phone. Every time I look down, I'm not looking at chat. Oh. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. Chat. Chat. Ah, yes. Oh. There we go. And then I have to click over... Where do I click? I forgot how to do the YouTubes. Oh, AI adverts everywhere. Okay, I'm fine. I'm alive. I'm doing things. There we go. Things have been done. I've got chat on my phone. Pretty sure that was the name of Dexter's nemesis. It was? Manfred! Oh, just like the fun Carstein. Is there any good Manfreds in the world? I think not. I could be wildly off course with that though, in a hot minute. Yeah. Powerpuff Girls was great. I liked Powerpuff Girls. And Totally Spies. And Kim Possible. Oh, Kim Possible was the GOAT. If you didn't watch Kim Possible, what were you doing as a child? In fact, go and watch it as an adult. It's still good. Doesn't hold up as well, but still. But yeah, this is a bit too rusty. For one thing I don't like about the Rust is it's got no texture to it. It's got no texture to it. So it's a bit meh. Also, his nose looks like the tip is blue on the camera, but it's not blue. His nose. It's not blue. If we do this, see, it's not blue. You can't see the blue anymore. I was more of an Ed, and Eddie and Codename Kids Next Doors. I watched a bit of Code. I liked the little games they had. In fact, I think they only got rid of them a few years ago. Not that long ago. The other games they had on the Cartoon Network website for Kids Next Door. Oh, those are fun games. I wasn't as much of a big fan of the show. And I really didn't like Ed, and Eddie as a kid. Oh, the Eds. The Eds, they scared me. They scared me. Yeah, I'm just thinking about what we actually need to paint today. We need to get like these edges done here. Like make it actually look like it's been sheared off. I don't know how we're going to do that. We're just going to have to figure it out. Need to like clean up here where you can see the orange has come through. Has gone onto the metal. I actually do like the rust going onto the corrugated metal there, but I feel like we need to just make it look a bit rougher. Hi, Bob the Innkeeper. I'm not stinky. Why would you call me stinky? But yeah. The gobbos, we'll do the details on the gobbos last, I feel like. Yeah, I think maybe getting all the edges done on these various metal bits might be the best. And like neatening up this thing here and over there. Then getting like some mud on the tracks. Oh, maybe doing the metal stuff here. I like how that looked. I think it was pretty nice. But yeah, we've got to figure out what to do about... Maybe if I add in like little flecks of the orange paint, like not watered down, just so it's more orangey, because parts of the areas like there, where I was a bit too overzealous with the orange and like here and stuff, I feel like it feels just a little bit rustier. And then maybe just putting little bits of flecks of a brighter orange in different places will help settle the effect better.
I don't know why you're crying. Bob's being a good cupcake and telling the truth. Maybe try being less of a smelly cat.
I'm not a cat and I'm not smelly. I'm clean. I'm super clean. And I'm not smelly at all. If I smell of anything, it's of pomegranate.
You can't complain. I am no more than a humble servant of a granddaddy Nurgle, with a mission to spread the love and happiness of his.
No, Nurgle is bad. Nurgle bad. Nurgle heresy. Nurgle gets the killdozer. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this vehicle is just ridiculous though. Like, orc next to it. Banana for scale. I mean, orc for... I accidentally broke the orc's hand off the other day. one thing I need to do actually is, I think the only thing that's really affected by it, yeah, looking at it, is this thing. I think I went a bit too overzealous with the aggressive shade or whatever on this, and I need to fix it up a little. Yeah. It's just a bit too much on it. So that's what we'll do. We'll get working on that thing first. Ah, my thumb still hurts. That's why I'm wearing the plaster. Oh. I'm not really sure how to paint corrugated metal though. I don't know if I painted it, but if it looks good or not. It's Stormpost silver. I think that'll be good. Retribute armor, that might be useful. Balthasar gold. And where's my favourite one? Here we go, full bright copper. You know what, while we're here... Where is it? There it is. My orange. Orcs are green because Nurgle is the best. No! No! I was trawling through data sheets yesterday looking for tiny Titan appropriate units. Saw a Legends unit I'd never heard of before, the Mega Dread. Big Death Dread. Yeah! Oh, do you want to look up for Mega Dread? Mega Dread. It was a Forge World model. Here we go. Open image in new tab. Let's go and pull this over here. I never do this. Why is it not working? Warhammer Community, Google Chrome. Why is it not? I am. For some reason it doesn't want to pick up live chat, phone system, audio player, VTube studio. Oh, they changed the name of the website to Home. Okay. Okay, there we go. Well, go over here. That's the Mega Dread. That's Forge World Mega Dread for you. As you can see, it's pretty big. I don't think it's night size, but I wouldn't be surprised if a weapon on it is night size. Who is rusting their bucket? Weird. Weird. I really like the colour scheme of this one, making it look like it's covered in doing like petrol or oil spills. Yeah. Oh, but hello Talan, how you doing? Also, what's this? Join the Sons of the Line with a new wearable Dark Angels helmet. Oh my gosh, you can wear it. This is like so much better than some of those helmets that some websites have sold before for certain games. Have you heard about the new gun that Fallout is selling? Bethesda for Fallout. Start worshipping Nurgle today and get a pox for free. I don't want to get poxed. I thought I was looking at the old Dark Imperium starter set. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It has 7 Plague Marines, 20 Poxwalkers, like 3 was it 3 or 4 different characters in it for Nurgle? And one of those drones. However, Space Marines had 2 squads of 5 intercessors, 2 lieutenants, a graphics captain. Oh.
Does this hurt the Space Marine?
Hey, Longstocks! No, nothing hurts the Space Marines. They can't be hurt, they're too tough. And then what else did they have? Oh yeah, an Ancient. And 5 Hellblasters. And I think there was something else for the Space Marines. Was there? Yeah, there must have been something else. I can't remember off the top of my head though. I was like, that's a cool starter set, you know. Oh yeah, 3 of the jump pack graphics intercessors. Not intercessors, incursors? No, incursors are Phobos armor. What are they called? You got the infiltrators, the incursors, and the interceptors. Yeah, why did everything have to begin with an in? You got interceptors, you've got the incursors, you got the infiltrators, you got the intercessors. And they all look the blooming same because they're in power armor. Well, they don't all look the same. Some of them look the same. How did the second muscles command not work there? Oh, wait, that's because we had to. It was queued. It was queued. All part of Indomitus Crusade. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. It's silly. You know, I'm just trying to avoid having to paint first because it's scary. But you know what? Let's try some retribution. No, let's try for full great copper. I think we'll try that. And what else is there? Is there anything else beginning with an in the Space Marine stuff? The Imperium.
You could say that prefix was there, in, thing.
Yeah, it just feels so weird. And it makes an already confusing army even more confusing to, you know, figure out and understand. Wait, I might have to rush out because I might be getting a delivery from 11:30 to like 1. And it should have my gloves in it. Who's stinky? I'm not stinky. Not me.
Who is this cat?
Who is this cat? I'm not a cat. You're a cat. I think you're just projecting. That's what we call it, projecting. Oh, so bad. I just might uninstall my live files for my sins. No! Don't do install stuff, you know, just delete. Don't uninstall. We don't want more ins. But I seriously feel like they didn't really think about the consequences of calling everything an inn. And for someone like me who gets confused with words quite often.
Message received. Deleting live files.
No, that's a joke. Oh no, that's Spoken Copper, not Retribute Armor. Let's see what Retribute Armor looks like. Oh gosh, my thingy hurts. There we go. Yeah, Retributor Armor's really nice. It's just a highlighty colour. The issue with this model being so big is having to constantly flip it around in an attempt to get to different areas. There we go.
Okay, not a cat. I see through your disguise.
No, I'm not a worm either. I'll never be a worm. Would you still love me if I were a worm? The answer is undoubtedly yes. Yeet. You would. You have to. Because you're cupcake. There we go. There we go. I wonder if putting some of this here will help. Nope. Of course not. But I will still care about you. What do you mean no? No! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't love you as a worm. As a marshmallow snake on the other hand.
I'm not a marshmallow. Do you know those fluffy worms you get on sticks? Yeah, it's one of them. Like, do you know, where you play with your little cats? That's what this is. Oh, yeah. Okay, how does that look now? It looks messy. It looks messy. I mean, it's meant to look messy, but is this just too messy? That's a question. Yeah, whatever. There we go. Drink. If everyone in the world was the name, would you want to sing and magic. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. So powerful. Wow. Oh my gosh, I am magic. Oh my gosh, remember those fluffy snakes on the thin fibre that you hid in your pocket to make it look like it was slithering? Yeah,
I
it's
am
like
back and as
those
promised.
snakes. You're back, and as promised, banana. Okay, I'm gonna turn into banana after I finish being a snake, apparently. But hello, Finspoutgador, how you doing? I mean, hello back, how you doing? I'm Cupcon. Maybe I'll just try Mechanicus Grey. Maybe that will look better instead of the silver. There we go, banana. Don't eat me, Cuptle. Stop eating me. It's so mean. Why do you always feel the need to eat me when I look like a banana? I'm not a banana. I'm still a cupcake. Nemnes made that animation. Where's it? Why is it not working? There we go. Oh, it. How does it keep splitting? The brush, the ends are splitting. You can't even tell, can you, on that picture? That's fine. They didn't care who I was until my ends split. You know, one of the fun things about villains is that making a villain have a statement that is correct, but whose actions are then wrong is really nice. But people often misconstrue this to think what the villain said was correct, and hence their actions were correct, but no. That doesn't make it correct. Like, there's often like a million other things the villain could have done. Would have been far better for everybody involved, including them. Rationalizing evil. Yeet. Well, often it's not. But often having a villain, having like make a good point to make, but then their methods be just terrible, adds like a fun little dynamic, because it's difficult to argue then against the villain. And it makes them harder to talk down, because they're not wrong. It's just the methods are bad. But, like many villains even today, will take something that is actually correct and then use that to rationalize everything else they do. And every time you try arguing against, like, or trying to stop them in what they're doing, they'll always bring it back to the rational argument that they actually do have. And make it so you oppose what they're doing. So you basically oppose a good thing by opposing the bad things that they do. These are tactics many people use, often without even meaning to. Because it's very easy to fall into that sort of category. The best villains are the ones that know that their tactics are bad, and they're really just using the fact that, like, that's what the best villains are. They're charismatic. They find a problem that lots of people have and then give them a solution that really not a solution. But these people are so desperate for a solution that they're willing to accept it. Like Magneto. Like, even he eventually realizes, at least early on he had a point and he wanted to do good stuff. But even he gets to a point where he just starts using that good stuff to just further his power and his own regime. Although it depends for writer. Sometimes he's grossly aware of what he's doing, other times he's, you know, deluded as much himself as his followers. But often Magneto's point ends up becoming, going from they shouldn't treat mutants badly to we should treat everyone who's not a mutant badly. Or just get rid of them. And that's not good. That's straight up evil, Magneto. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah. What Magneto do, what Magneto do. Most villains have a good point but terrible methods landed on that solution when it was the only option. It worked last time, it'll work every other time, right? Some of them do, others don't. It depends on the villain, I suppose. I mean, some of them are just filled with abject hate and anger. It's like they've suffered so much that the only solution they can think of is one that just is to cause pain and suffering. And they're not willing to listen to a solution that doesn't. And ultimately, that's all they really want to do in the end. I got hurt, so I'm going to hurt others. Even though the very actions often mean just other people, including the very people they claim they want to protect, get hurt. Magneto is not necessarily the best option because sometimes he is just right and Xavier's just deluded. But that's because it has its own things to real life racism and stuff. I think the best villains are the ones who had to make the tough choice when it was the only choice, when no one else could or would. There's a few villains like that, but I can't really think of many off the top of my head. There's that villain from, oh, it's Watchmen, is it? Who, do you know, he actually succeeds? And his entire thing is, I enacted my plan 28 minutes before I even told you my plan. There's no stopping it because it's already happened. I don't necessarily think he was right. It's been forever since I watched Watchmen. I've watched it like when I was way too young to watch it, just because it was a cool comic book movie. But I don't really know many other villains that are like that. Like Magneto, the reason he's often bad is because he's like a mutant supremacist. So while in his early days he had a point, he ends up losing that point when he just becomes a supremacist and wants to kill everybody. Trying to think. Batman villains and Superman ones. They generally don't have much of a point. Oh, you sometimes have like, what's his name from Star Wars? He was quite important in Star Wars Rebels. And oh, he's a guy who's like always high on that gas. Oh, I forgot his name. But yeah, he started out as a rebel against the CIS, the droids and stuff. And he was forced to fight and to survive and use excessive violence. And then the Empire rose, and he continued fighting and continued fighting. and getting ever just more violent and angry and dangerous. And the terrible thing about him is it's hard to tell if he was wrong. Like, he's on the good guy's side, but he's doing bad guy things. He's getting innocents killed. He's going way too far. But it's hard to argue that his methods don't work. They're just at odds with everyone else in the rebellion. Or some of them. Oh. But he definitely falls into that category of this was needed. And I guess actually a bunch of Star Wars villains actually do fall into that category. Where we pretty much had to act. So I'm just moving magnets around. Like, a bunch of the Empire villains, they joined the Empire because they lived on worlds that, you know, were terrible. Like, rife with crime and all sorts of stuff. And then the Empire came along and brought order. And, well, the Empire actually worked. It was one of the few worlds where it did good. Although often these people, they're the ones that benefited from it. And they don't necessarily see the suffering that was caused by the Empire, or they just see it as worth the suffering from the Empire is better than what was before. So they're not even always correct themselves. Like, sometimes they are very much wrong. The planet was worse off under the Empire, just they weren't. Just a few people weren't. I'm trying to think of other villains. I mean, sometimes you see the good guys who become villains. Like, in the first film, they were good guy, second film, bad guy. Space Marines. I guess the Imperium is filled with things like that. Where it's like, you know, those Inquisitors that just like to exterminate us every planet. It's like, it worked in the past. I don't know why we would stop. Like, there's nothing here. I spent millions of lives trying to fix something, and exterminators just did it in one go. Watched a couple of writing videos today. One was on the human weapons, as in the human is or becomes a weapon. Like Robocop! Oh. I'm actually writing a story like that. Where one of the main characters, well, she was meant to be the main character, but I've decided it might be more interesting to write it from everyone's point of view except hers until the last couple of chapters, where we finally get to see from her point of view. And one of the main things is that people often just see her as a weapon. Or a monster. But I guess there's many ways to look at human weapon, and you got the very physical of, you know, the robo-copying, Violet Evercard being the Evergarden, being the weapon of war, except what happens when there is no war anymore. Yeet. And then you've got the things of, does a dictator count as a weapon? Like the charismatic person who their voice is the weapon that's turning other people into their own weapons. Because if you include that, I think most stories do kind of have a human weapon, and they're often in an agonistic role. Antagonistic, sorry. Not an agnostic. Antagonistic role. Okay, so I've added like scratches around the edges of the corrugated armor. Makes it very shiny though. Wondering how to do the mudded tracks. Kinda wanna go to the Warhammer website. Oh, there we go. My throat feels weird today. I think I've got a cold. I just want to look at like the different vehicles. How they do for mud around the track. Let's look at the actual Astra Militarum. That will be good. Chimera. Faded. That's very light mod. I feel like we need to go for more, don't we? Well, that's a bit more, this one. Come on. Oh no, my internet. Why is it? There we go. Oh look, there's a little dude in there. Just give me a moment. My cat just won't stop meowing. Wondering if she's hurt. Well, hello, how you doing? I'm back. Human weapons as antagonists are very force of nature, but then you can have them be the protagonist and you can explore what it means to be human, what can be sacrificed, what breaks someone. Yeah! That's what I'm thinking about with my character, although people view her as like a force of nature in everything she does. And that's what we get to see from her point of view. Not from her point of view, from everyone else's point of view until like we get to the end of the story. Thanks to the head pats. Yeah, she was just wanting attention. So I gave her a little cuddle and said, yeah, we're here. But yeah, like with my character, with the last few chapters though, we get to see her point of view and you're like, oh, she it's not. Oh, that's nice dust on that one. But no, I want more dirt. Nah, not that one. Warhammer 40k. Let's go with the orcs. Let's see how they do it. And their different vehicles. They don't really do dirt, do they, on their vehicles? Surprisingly. Huh. You're doing the John intro, but like for pre-intro? I don't know, I've not watched John Wick. But yeah, the last few oh yeah, there's one thing that's going to be, like, there's going to be a line at the start of every single chapter. And it's just like, and it's like a quote. And it feels like it sums up the chapter in general. But then by the end of the story, there's going to be hints throughout the story that these quotes are actually from her. And they're all very, like, you know, depressive and potentially even self-loathing, especially when you realise it's her talking about herself. And then in the final chapter, you realise that this is not a force of nature. This is a person who's full of anxiety. She's constantly afraid, especially when she's having to fight. But she does it anyway because she feels like she has no other options. Let's go to Horus Heresy. They often put like more dirt and stuff on the vehicles. Let's look at the Mechanicum ones. No, again, it's just a bit dusty. Oh, that's much dustier. Let's try Soda Auxilia still. No, they don't really do dirt on tracks anymore, do they? They do more on the Ford. That's what I'm trying to look. I'm trying to see the Ford Road Racing ones. Because they often like to put it more on that. But John Wick was a ruthless individual who didn't believe he could be redeemed. What he did until a woman proved otherwise. We start that first movie with him losing her. Oh. That sounds pretty fun. Oh yeah, they don't really do dirt on the vehicles, but I want to do dirt on the track. It feels archy. It doesn't feel. I guess that's one of my one of the signatures of my painting style. I generally prefer to put dirt and stuff all over the vehicle and all over the models. But I'm thinking, I think I first want to brush it down with black, like all along here and the edges, and then go for brown, and then go for light Armageddon dust, and then put that all over the tracks. Yeah, that might be good. And while we're doing that, we can do the top here in the same sort of style. Actually, no, I kind of like how the top looks at the moment. I imagine the orcs sort of washed it down when they made it into a roof. Considering if they had to walk all over it. But what it sounds like you're writing is John Wick buried our enemies in the foundations of our empire. Talk Vigo has with his son in that movie. I guess so. The first chapter I've written, again, I've written like so many different versions of it. And the first, oh my gosh, I didn't even realise I had that armoured plate there. First chapter I've written again, and it is... I'm not really sure how to describe it. Actually, I can describe it. It's basically a character from a character's point of view, but like one of the major antagonists, well before the story, like 15 years. And he goes into a city. Oh no, he's fighting in like a war and stuff. He's a lieutenant. And he's telling his army to go back because they've lost contact with base camp. And when they arrive at base camp, everyone is basically slaughtered. And then, like, his army is under attack by some sort of, like, army of white wraiths, or maybe just one of them. And it's a horrific scene. As just his troops get slaughtered mercilessly by this beast. The entire thing is like, yeah, that's gonna be her. The villain of the story, framing from protagonist, the apex villain, is certainly a way to build them up. Yeah. And that character's gonna have like loads of PTSD. He's gonna be like super scary and intimidating. Like he's just a normal person. Kind of a normal person. Like compared to real life, it's not that normal. Compared to the fact that the story mostly focuses on superhuman 12-foot tall princes and princesses and stuff. And kings. And he's just this general of some random empire and he's just a normal person. And he intimidates them because he's just built different. But then when you see his point of view, you do see that, yeah, he suffers some PTSD. And then when he starts hearing about this white wraith destroying things, he's like, oh my goodness, no, it's happening again. Oh no, I should paint more things on the side before I do the dirt. Yeah, let's get painting some blue onto this thing. Actually, I want to do speckle some of this orange painting. But yeah, I think in each point of view sees her differently. Some will see her as a monster, some will see her as like a victim, others a weapon. Oh. I think one of the points of the story is everyone's a human and everyone's like a good guy in their own point of view. Well, maybe not everyone. There's definitely at least one character. One character who's very much an antagonist, and even from his own point of view, you can tell he's an antagonist. But he just thinks massively of himself. He thinks he's
We called him the Baba Yaga, the bogeyman. Not exactly, John was the man you sent to kill the beep bogeyman.
Yeah, a bogeyman. A bogeyman is such a silly name. But this brush is just... I think it's because of that time I spilled paint on it. Boogeyman was what I meant to say. Boogeyman! We do the boogie. Do the boogie. Do the boogie. Yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah, one of the characters is it's one of those people where they're clearly in the wrong all of the time. Like even if you look at it from their point of view, they're in the wrong. Or they just abjectly refuse to believe that anything they do is wrong. And that things are owed to them. There's one character like that. And there's also another character who follows a more antagonistic role, and she very much is aware that she's an antagonist. She's like, yeah, I'm a terrible person, but I don't care. I am having fun. I'm not going to pretend what I'm doing is right or something. I like those kind of characters though. But even she's human. And she has stuff going on in her own little world. The scariest bad people are the ones that abjectly refuse to believe what they're doing is wrong. Or believe it's always worth the cost of whatever they're doing. Yeah, I'm just adding like little orange flecky bits to make it feel a bit. It's better to sell the image of this being all rusted up. But yeah. But I find filling characters who are aware what they're doing is bad, I just find them really fun. And you get villain characters who, in their own story, they're very much a hero. It's just their goals go against what our protagonist's goals are. Those characters are really fun and nice. And they can be quite interesting to have a dynamic with the protagonist. Because they're not evil. Technically what they're doing isn't even necessarily bad or wrong in itself. Or entirely bad or wrong. Like, you see this more in like historical sort of stories. Where you have two empires fighting one another. And it's like either neither of them are evil or both of them are evil. You've got two expansionist empires fighting one another. If you're going to say what the bad guy is doing is evil, then what the good guy is doing is also evil, because both of them are doing the same thing, trying to fulfill the same sort of goal, just on two different sides. And that's kind of sad, where like you've got this good person just trying the best, but they cannot exist at the same time as this set of other characters. At least I think it's kind of fun when you got stuff like that. Yeah, for extra bit of orange just highlighting and speckling through is not bad. But to me the scariest one is always the ones where they're just outright evil and so self-involved that they can't even tell that what they're doing is wrong. Because at that point, they're just... there's no reasoning with them. There's no real hope that they can start. Like Jack Horner on Puss in Boots, he's one of them. Like, he's outright evil. But he just doesn't see it that way. Just missed 5 minutes of Yap. What did I miss? I'm talking about the different types of villains. Like, you've got characters that aren't evil at all, but they're just sat on the opposite side of the protagonists. Or if you're going to call them evil, what they're doing is no different to what the protagonist is doing. So the protagonist has to be evil as well. It's just two. It's basically when you just got two good people facing one another down, when neither of them can complete
What I do,
their
you
goal.
deserve this. I mean, what specifically?
What did I do, yo, to deserve this? What do you mean, what did you just do to deserve this? What happened? But yeah, the other is it's just villains that are straight up evil and know they're evil and know what they're doing is bad, but they just don't care. They're just like, yeah, of course I'm doing bad stuff. It's fun. Why wouldn't I? But then I was talking about the villains who... what I think of as scariest are those that... they do abjectly evil stuff. They're very clearly evil, but they will absolutely refuse to ever believe what they're doing is bad. And usually because they're just too self-absorbed. Jack Horner from Puss in Boots really falls into that category. He does all this terrible stuff with a smile because, well, he thinks it's good. At least good for him, and that's good enough for him. That's Jack Homer's last line, isn't it? Oh yeah, that is his last line. I forgot about that. Oh. I like the thing where it's like, I just want all the magic in the world. Is that too much to ask? And it's like, yes. Agree to disagree. Villains where they know what they're doing is bad will be like, is that too much to ask? Yes. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Because I want to. But it's like villains where they know what they're doing is bad. There's a bit of hope that they might just stop when it gets too difficult. Or when it stops being fun for them. Or that you might be able to reason with them. and be like, hey, what you're doing is bad, but if we just put an end to this, we can call it today. And feel like, you know what? Fair enough. I respect that. Joker is one of those villains. He knows what he's doing is bad, chooses to do it anyway just for the lol. But that's the thing about the Joker. As soon as it gets too difficult, or as soon as things are about to, you know, turn against him, he's like, that's it, I'm out of here. It's like, you know what? Lock me up in Arkham. Fair enough for me. I mean, then you got the Jokers like Heath Ledger's Joker, where he knows he's doing bad stuff, but he basically believes he's got a good reason to do it. That's different from most of the other Jokers we see. Hi, motivated dad. Arc wagons can be glued on whatever stuff you can find lying around. I glued on mine, my broken hopes and dreams. Mine has just... I basically just threw a bunch of glue into my bits box, shook it up, and this came out. That's where that subset of villains I was talking about earlier come in. They do bad stuff, they know it's bad, but it worked and it continues to work. I guess so. I guess that's similar to them. I think that's more of a fourth category though, where they do bad stuff for a greater good. Doing bad stuff for a greater good. That's different from doing bad stuff but thinking it's good. And different from doing bad stuff just for fun. Arcs are always fun to paint, you can't go wrong on them. Kind of true. I feel like I've gone a bit too messy and noisy with this thing though. It's hard to tell what's going on with it. At least that's what the artist in me is telling me. Great to good villains are also really scary. Like, that's what not all real life villains are like, but a lot of real life villains have been like.
You can do anything in the name of the greater good. There is no evil that cannot be performed. Therefore, Tau are just the absolute worst.
No, they're not the absolute worst. But that is very much one of the reasons of a thing of the greater good. The Tau are not the worst by merit of they try to do good. The ethereals are usually the ones, and Farsight are usually the ones that end up doing, or at least giving orders to do terrible stuff in the name of the greater good. Most of the town, on the other hand, generally, when it's up to them, will try to do as much good as they can in the name of the greater good. The Imperium is very much the same, just they don't say for the greater good, they say for the Emperor, for the Imperium of Man. The Tower of the least bad, but Farsight's Enclave are objectively the good guys? I don't think so. Anyone who fires upon their own troops, sacrifices their own troops, is willing to kill innocents just for... and use them as bait. They're not good guys. The Farsight Enclave does all of that. That's one of the reasons why they're looked at as bad. They're an extremely bloody and fish... Farsight is extremely bloody and very vicious. He's basically the... He's what would happen if you put a decent Imperial commander in charge of a Tau expansion sphere. He is not an objective good guy. The objective good guys are same as most Warhammer, individual characters who do good stuff. Even if they're working for a group that is objectively itself bad. Now we can see Farsight doing good stuff and recognizing the evil or potential dangers of the Ethereals themselves. And we know that many of the Ethereals have done and ordered many terrible acts. So it's hard to say that the Tau Empire itself is good. But the thing is, if you just look at any sort of faction, every single faction is doing something for its idea of the greater good. Humanity kills Xenos for the greater good. It's just for the Emperor. The Eldar do all sorts of horrific acts to further the extension of the Eldar and make sure they don't die out, or at least that's how they justify their actions. Even the Necrons have that sort of greater good going on. Yeah, Farsight is kind of separate from the Tau. From the Tau Empire. He's got his own little enclave. But they're more like if you... They're not quite like the Imperium. They're not as bad as the Imperium. But I would hesitate to say Farsight is good. And his enclave is good. They're just a different flavour of questionable morality. It's just because Farsight had a falling out with the Ethereals, it's like many people in real life. Like just because a person had a disagreement with this very terrible person doesn't mean that the person they had a disagreement with is good. It just means that often they're just a different flavour of evil. Except bugs. Bugs are just hungry. Actually, the Tyranids have been described as full of hate for everything of the galaxy. So... they're not just hungry, they're literally hateful. And they've actively been seen doing stuff like torturing things. And purposely causing pain. Even if it's not necessarily more efficient to. Like some of their weapons are these acids that inflict lots of pain, but the survivability of them is pretty high. And they know full well that the Tyranids could just use a different acid that is more likely to kill you, but instead this one puts you in intense pain for an extended period of time. And it's a horrific way to die, and the Tyranids choose to use that over more efficient methods. because they just hate things. Hate because they just won't get in the digestive pool. Maybe. Tyranids have a natural urge to be aggressive. They are as evil as xenomorphs from the Alien movies. I guess so. Because the xenomorphs are intelligent. And their goal does seem to just to be hurt and terrorize things and kill them eventually. Xenomorphs aren't stupid. Yeah. But yeah, it's like those people who had managed to survive the connection with a hive mind and they just feel this abject hate towards them. I think they stole that from the Necrons though, like that's what the Necrons were originally meant to have. I remember some of the older laws suggesting that the only times they've managed to like connect with the Necrons and figure out what they're feeling or they felt was hatred. Hatred for all life. Necrons now, though, they've been given a lot more personality and their own thing, and that hatred has been handed over to the Tyranids. The individual Tyranids themselves aren't filled with hatred. But the hive mind itself, I think it is. And like maybe individual fleets are. So as I'm aware, the individual Tyranids, but they're very much just effectively animalistic in their thoughts and feelings. Hello, Night Parade! Sometimes forget gene stealers are Tyranids, and what they do with their cults could be described as evil in a lot of cases. Yeah. Although you can put that blame onto the cultists themselves, rather than the gene stealers. But I did read a short story extract from one of these gene stealer things, and we might be able to see it or something similar in the Combat Patrol comics once they reach the gene stealer cults. And that was of a gene stealer that was slowly gaining sentience, and as it did, it started like hating everything. Like the main thing it felt as it was gaining this level of sentience was just hate. If there was any emotion it could feel, it wasn't hunger. Even some of the lowest xenomorphs are shown to regularly outsmart humans and predators. Yee! Although my major exposure to the Alien franchise is... It was what... Do you know those Alien arcade games? Where you can shoot lots and lots of aliens? And I think that... I can't remember if it's the same as the Aliens Colonial Marines or whatever. Or what came first, but it's similar to that. You play as one of the Marines and you're just like shooting all the aliens up. I absolutely loved. I was on holiday once and I just played that for the entire holiday. There was a swimming pool, but I don't like swimming pools. Right next to the swimming pool was a little arcade in the hotel, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play that. I'm going to spend my entire holiday there. Go on walks? Nah. See sights? Nah. Go swimming? No. I'm going to play Fidgy games. Oh. Exercise time. Never exercise. Okay, so we've done highlighty bits of orange. That looks rustier. That looks even rustier. Oh, it's a mess though. I remember Alien vs Predator best. Beat them up on the arcade game made by Capcom. Oh, you can play as a tactical gear. Chun-Li suplexing aliens. Oh my gosh, that's insane. I think I watched the first Aliens film as a kid. I didn't really care about it that much. Oh, there was an alien film where they got trapped. The other alien came down to the planet and there was a bunch of teenagers. And I thought it was absolutely terrible. I can't even remember much about it other than there were a bunch of teenagers and the aliens were on the planet. I also saw, do you know, the Predator film with Arnold and the chopper and stuff. And I thought that was just funny as a kid. Like, it's so silly. It's just got so many, do you know, action-y things. I don't know if that's, like, bad to say. I just thought it was funny, but... Wait, did he say get to a chopper in the in the Predator film? Or is that a different film? I might be like have false memories and conflating a bunch of stuff together. Because I do that a lot. I do that a lot. The game also has Arnold with a robot Tom as a playable character. Oh my gosh. Oof. Jeans did a course. I'm trying to think, what would the Predator be in 40k? Would it be Space Marines? Like, if the Xenomorphs are Gene Stealers, because that's what Gene Stealers are, for basically the Xenomorph from Alien. Then the Space Marines are basically the Predators, aren't they? Like, especially a Space Marine in Phobos armor. Okay, I think I want to paint. Oh yeah, I need to do all the highlighty stuff with the blue paint. Cowgirl blue and stuff. I don't know how to do the broken edges here. Might take some Mechanicus grey onto it, actually. Predators are either Groot or possibly even Necron Flayers. Flayed ones, I'm not sure. Maybe Destroyers? That could work. But the Groot could also work. I think Eversaw Assassin is just too crazy to be a Predator. Oh, wait, what about the Captain? Not the Captain, the Lieutenant. You know, with combi weapon and the dual combat blades from the Leviathan kit. Would he count as Predator? Because he can turn invisible and like pop out from the shadows and tear apart Tyranids, and he adds on their like shells to his armor. The Groot are also a good answer to that one though. Okay, don't want to put any blue on this side now. I've got this stuff for blue. I think maybe over here we need more blue then. I don't want to paint on the side. Do I just want to paint like some of the panels blue? I want to go for very watered down blue though. Don't fall down like that. Yeah, just go very watered down. Go over this panel. Issue with this being watered down, it doesn't actually want to spread out very well. Imagine if we're trying to paint over the rust and stuff. That's why I want it watered down, so it's not going to cover up the rust too badly. I like the idea of it being quite messy about it as well. What would I want to call it? What should I write on the side? I wish DW gives us human auxiliary set for Tau or Felinid Guardsman. That would be cool. Could just be an upgrade set as well. Just something. There's so many stuff I wish they did with like Guardsmen and humans though. A war boss. But by admitting this, I'm acting myself as a weeb. Cupcake cone. No, we can't write cupcake on it. It's not cool enough. Add more DACA. Too many words. How about cupcake? I don't know if I want to put cupcake on the side of a wagon. There's a recent Aliens game called Dark Descent where you control a squad of Marines. You have a limited number of people and resources to work with, and it's XCOM-like without turn-based gameplay. Ooh. Sounds interesting. Hi, Tony for Tanuki. Oh, I might have a delivery here. Just give me a moment to check. I heard a fan and the beeping sound of, do you know when they're about to deliver something? Add more DACA. Add more DACA. Yeah. Alien Dark Descent is an RTS XCOM and it generally gives me scares more than some of the horror games. Ooh. has anyone seen that Buggles game? Where you play as for Buggles? And it's a bit like Warhammer. Or, well, more like, what's it called? Starship Troopers. That looks like a cool game. And it's kind of an RTS-y-like game. Kinda. That's what I want. I want for black now. And for white. Pallid witch flesh, no. Raker flesh, no. Oryx white, that's what I want. And what else do I want? Black. Black. Contrast black Templar, maybe not. I think I want some proper, like, proper black. Yeah, Abaddon black. Maybe I'll write cupcakes somewhere on it. Maybe I'll write down the bottom. Oh gosh, my phone keeps breaking with chat. Do we suffer from tinnitus? Tetanus, sorry, not tinnitus. Tetanus, maybe. Oh, never asked them. Okay, now I hear a fan outside. And more beeping. That's probably my glove surviving. I'll BRB then. There we go, it arrived. Where's my knife? It's over here. How do I open this? Oh my gosh, so many packs of gloves. I bought like 10 of them. Oh my gosh. That's a big old box. But I got gloves. Oh gosh, we don't want to come out. None of the gloves want to come out. but there we go. My air fryer broke. I shall now starve forever by... No, don't starve forever. Your air fryer is not allowed to break. How did it break? I know mine broke, but I managed to fix it. Because it was basically to do with a little latch mechanism on it. It don't work. Because mine had a latch mechanism. And basically there was like meant to be this little sloping thing on it that pressed a button, but it no longer sloped because it got wore down. But by cutting it, I managed to make it slope again, so it pressed in the latch properly. Gloves! There's a little bit of air trapped in the glove, and every time I go like closing it, it makes little noises. Ah! But anyway, we need to add more stacker. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean this. You know what SpongeBob and Warhammer both have in common? That the protagonist, or like, do you know, the good guy side is often not the good guy side. Or even the bad guy side, it's just everyone's bad. Like, if you think about Krusty Krab versus Plankton. Plankton is evil, yes. But Mr. Krabs is not really much better. He's very much the, we're only good guys because the enemies are so much worse. Mr. Krabs would make a good blood angel. Really? Blood angel? Are they all money grubbing greedy people or something? Or is it just because they're both red? Or is it because all blood angels are beautiful and Mr. Krabs is beautiful? Which is true. Mr. Krabs, truly beautiful. I always find it funny, do you know, when Mr. Krabs' voice actor is in other stuff. Oh, what was it when Mr. Krabs was in it recently? Hoarding gold and money? Oh, do they hoard gold and money? I never knew that about Blood Angels. I don't know if they had lots of like exquisitely valuable stuff. Or at least before the Tyranid attack. And they've since been forced to, you know, have to adapt Mark 10 armor for like the Sanguinian Guard because they don't have enough armor anymore. Blood Angels. No, that's Blood Ravens. Blood Ravens steal everything that's not nailed down. They are, what's it called? Successors of the Blood Angels. Oh wait, isn't Dawn of War like canonized by... Yeah, I think Dawn of War games were canonized by Games Workshop. Like, I think the reason that they had Blood Ravens and not Blood Angels is effectively so that they didn't have to abide by the canon. I am struggling to write with a brush. I am not good at writing with brushes. My bad. I kept mixing up Blood Angels and Blood Ravens, Dark Angels and Raven Guard. Whose names these chapters anyway? The most imaginative people at Games Workshop. Even naming makes sense when you remember that Space Marines are meant to be like the angels of the Emperor. And that they've all got the eagle motif on their armor. And both the Blood Angels and the Dark Angels remove the central part of the eagle for their own chapter symbol. Dark Angels have the sword, Blood Angels have the teardrop. So it makes sense that both of them would be called angels. And then it makes sense that multiple chapters would have bird names in the names. Because how it goes. Blood Raven's Primarch is unknown. It's suspected it could be Magnus. Oh! I thought they were Blood Angel successors. Or is it like that for... Or is it not? Now, Blood Ravens being sons of Magnus would make a lot of sense, though. The Blood Ravens. Gosh, my glove's coming off. Nope, need to shake this harder. Corvix, right. It's a worst paint for congealing. Stop coming off my darn glove. Yeah, look at how that congealed mess. Oh, it's such a mess. And I can just turn it upside down, nothing comes out. How do I even fix this? Is there even fixing this? Okay, I need to put my sleeve glove back on because it just straight up fell off when I was shaking that. I shook it so hard my glove came off. Here we go. Blood Angels and Raven Guard are suspected as their original legions simply due to their naming similarities. Oh, okay. And I guess for colour. Blood Ravens have the same sort of colour as, or similar colour scheme to Blood Angels, being red. Although it's a much darker one. I keep confusing some of the gold Blood Angel models as Stormcast Eternals. Yeah. Easy to do that. And people do use Stormcast Eternal models as Blood Angels, Sanguinian Guard. And as for Sanguinar especially. I always say the Sanguinar is a bit disappointing of a model. Like, I can make excuses for the other models, but Sanguinar kind of suck. I'm kind of in agreement with others that the current Sanguinar might not be the real one. Oh my gosh, this white paint is so difficult to use. Doesn't want to go on, and then when it does want to go on, it just wants to take all the paint off the brush with it. Or just kind of wants to go in one place. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Krabs though would make a good Blood Raven. I like money. Add more Daka. Yeah. Oh, that looks terribly written, but at least it looks like it's been written by an orc. Oh, goodness. I heard Jagatai Khan up at Tarabo is returning to 40k. I've heard all sorts of things. I'll just wait until we get more concrete information. It seems very likely that they will want to bring back, maybe not all of the Primarchs, but at least a number of them. At least one for each of the things. Like, they need at least one more Primarch, maybe two. For... what's it called? Like, each of the codexes effectively in codex supplements. So, maybe two for the Chaos Space Marine codex. And then they'll maybe have an equal number of Primarchs of the... so you'll have 6 Primarchs on the Chaos side. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you'll have 6 Chaos Primarchs. You'll have 6 Chaos Primarchs, and then you'll have 6 normal Primarchs, I imagine. Yeah, but Loyalist Primarchs. Wake me up when Falcon returns, a Primarch with an actual Warhammer. Yeah. I imagine Perturabo might have a Warhammer though. I imagine if Perturabo returns, you'll get Dawn. Right, currently you've got 2. You've got Dark Angels, Ultramarines. Black Templars receiving Dawn would be great. Lehman Rust coming back for the Space Wolves. I imagine Sanguinius wouldn't come back, but I did read something interesting today. What if the Necrons brought Sanguinius back by doing some chronomancy and stealing him away from the moment he died, just before Horus killed him, and bringing him back into 40k, and then after his job is done, sending him back to just after Horus kills him? Oh no, just back so Horus will kill him. I doubt that would happen, but that was interesting. So I don't know if Blood Angels would, you know, get a Primarch back. I have someone that they could call upon. I imagine maybe we'll get a better Sanguinar. That would be cool. Like an actual image of... because at the moment the Sanguinar's not really the Sanguinar. It's just effectively somebody pretending to be the Sanguinar, and once they die they replace them. It's a bit like the Emperor's Champions, but even more on the nose. I've heard Frog now has every troll in his roster, even Ray still has a bigger brain of Noska, but bigger. Yeah, he's actually super intelligent, his Frog. Like, he's much cleverer than most people. Or at least he's meant to be. In lore. A bit like Skarsnik, except Skarsnik's even smarter than him. But yeah, then you could have Falcon returning to the main codex. That'll be 5 Primarchs. Because I don't think we're going to get Sanguinius back. If we do get Sanguinius back, it'll be some sort of angel thing, like the Sanguinar. That's all I can imagine. And I imagine Khan might be the other one that would come back. Oh no, we'd definitely have to get Corvus back. Like, if Perturabo comes back, I feel like we need Dawn at the same time. If Logar comes back, we definitely need to have Korax come back. Not Korax. Corvus. So, I don't know. But how many Primarchs is that? Ultramarine, Dark Angels, Dawn, Raven Guard. Then if we get Falcon back, because he seems like the most likely. 5. And if we don't include the Sanguinar and we say Khan can come back for 6. Oh no, Russ for 6. Russ needs to come back to the Space Wolves because he's not dead either, is he? If we bring Jagatai back though, that'll bring us up to 7 Primarchs for the Loyalists. And I feel like you'll need an equivalent for the Chaos guys. I mean, you got Abaddon, I guess, taking the role of Horus. Then you got Perturabo. Logar, the 4 independent gods. That'll be 7, but I don't think we should include Abaddon. So who would be the 7th Chaos Primarch that could come back? I mean, obviously we can't bring back the Night Lord. Alfarius. That's the only one left, isn't it? Like, Ferrus Manus is definitely dead. Conrad Kurz is definitely dead. And I don't want him coming back at all. Now, Ferrus Manus could come back in a Legion of the Damned style for the Agents of the Imperium. Which would be okay. But, honestly, I don't really care too much. So how many you got? 4, Logar, Perturabo, Conrad, Alfarius. And isn't the 9th one? Magnus, Mortorion, Angron, sorry. Fulgrim, Perturabo, Logar, Conrad Kurz, Alfarius, and I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like this 9 isn't for that went crazy. Oh yeah, Horus himself. I forgot about Horus. Yeah. So there's only 7 that can possibly return. And that's Alfarius is one of them. For the Loyalists, Ferrus Manus is the only one that's definitely dead, isn't he? Oh no, Sanguinius as well is definitely dead. Ferrus, Sanguinius, Conrad, Horus, and Theopharius twins are considered the dead ones. Oh, wait, is he considered dead? Like, is he definitely... Like, I know Sanguinius, Horus, Conrad, and Ferrus are all definitely dead. We've got bodies. Like, Ferrus was decapitated and turned into a servitor. Sanguinius was killed by Horus. Horus killed by the Emperor. Conrad got slaughtered. Who was that who killed him? Was it Vulcan who killed him? I can't remember. I know that it was a big thing against Vulcan for him. Was New Alfarius law and very loyalist again. There was always loyalist Alpha Legions, and there were always traitor Alpha Legions. And it wasn't always easy to tell which is which. Don cut one twin in half with his chainsword. Gulliman may end the other one in the upcoming scouring. Oh, okay. I never knew that thing about Dawn, though. I guess that makes sense. My gosh, the trait to Primarch sucked, though. Like, you got all this power from chaos on your side. You got the element of surprise, and you still lost badly. What you even doing, eh? You know Alfarius is a loyalist because you're Alfarius. Trust. This is a lie. Oh my gosh, I am terrible at drawing the little skull. But you know what? Not all orcs are artists. I'm wondering if we're not going to get all the seven supposedly surviving Primarchs back then. I mean, unless they give Abaddon a massive power boost. But I feel like they'll need to give Sanguinar also a massive power boost. And if they do give us Ferrous Manus back as undead stuff, then they're going to have to bring back one of the other Chaos Primarchs back as some sort of undeady thing. In that being said, the Chaos Primarchs do have one thing. I say Chaos Primarch. The Chaos Space Marines do have one thing that the regular Space Marines do not get. And that is demons. Like, they've already got multiple Primarch level characters. You've got Fashtar, who's Primarch level. You have Belagar, who's Primarch level and can be in the Chaos Space Marines as an ally. You have Great Demons. So I feel like other Xenos guys will then start needing their own Primarch level stuff added into the game. Because why not? If all the Space Marine things and all the Chaos things are having multiple Primarch level entities that they can bring in. And the Necrons are already there, they've got multiple Catan. And for Eldar, they'll only have the Avatar of Cain. But Arcs have literally nothing at the moment that's Primarch level. The closest we've got is Gaskull Thacker. And he is not Primarch level. Like, he is not fighting of the same level as Angron. He may be in 11th edition for improve his stats. And one of the cool things about the new the new Templar is just how powerful they're made for martials and stuff. It is possible that we're going to see more Hero Hammer style characters. Occurring in the game. Do Arcs even need Primarch level characters? They have numbers to make up for that. Maybe not, but it would be nice to see something, you know, similar to that. On top of this, Arc war bosses were always meant to be kind of scary threats and stuff. And Arcs in general. And it's like, you've had big Arcs before, fight greater demons and stuff and win. And in the older rule book, older editions of the rules, Arc war bosses really were something to fear. And I guess you got Kilvix. Kilvix are pretty powerful. But definitely not Primarch level. They're barely Knight level. They're Armiger level. And Gaskull Thacker is meant to be, you know, Primarch level, or at least that's what the stories and theories are making him out to seem to be. Or, you know, going towards. Yeah. More Decker. Remember Necrons of our hand? Most of their named characters are buff Primarchs, like the Silent King. Not... The Silent King's absolutely crazy, but that's because he's basically riding a giant monolith-like thing. We've also got a thing... The other named characters aren't that powerful. They're cool, but they're not super powerful like that. You have the Catan shards though, so you've got the Nightbringer and the Deceiver. And then you've got the Void Dragon and then the just generic Catan. And they're cool. But, like, the generic Catan, they're a bit overcost for what they are. Hi, Dr. Smilex. How you doing? Don't worry about being late. You're not Alfarius. I'm Alfarius. Doing fine. Yay. Yeah, I think the main thing about the like Primarch level characters, I think the Tau are the only ones that don't need them. But it's more like melee focused factions kind of need somebody who can go against other things. You've got the Swarm Lord, who I think needs to have improved stats. And you got Old One Eye for the Tyranids. I mean, you just got the generic Hive Tyrant, so all cool. The infinite regenerating kill ball is not overcosted. The generic Catan. I hear people complaining about it just not being that great. And not worth it compared to the other ones. More Daka for Dawa. More Daka for Dawa. Add more Daka. I like the idea that an orc just wrote that onto the side of it. Just as a reminder. It's like, reminder, future, add more Daka. Writing bigger letters on the side so I don't forget. The issue is the orc then never saw that side. He always just worked on it from the other side. I've completely forgot to add more Daka. So now it's only got lots and lots of Daka. Not insane amounts of Daka. For the Warg! Warg! We need more Daka for the Warg. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good enough. How does Cupcon spell water bottle? Well, it's W-A-E-R-B-O-L-E. Water bottle. Water bottle. You mean water bottle? Water bottle? Wow, in a bottle. I do. Wow. There it is. My attempt at drawing a face on the side of this. It sucked. But you know, I'm just imagining the art that painted it wasn't much of an artist. But he tried his best and that's all that matters. Hi Mississippi Gonzo. How you doing? Oh, my thingy hurts. I think what I want to do next is some of the blues. Blue, da ba dee da ba da. No, that's not my real self. Also, have you seen gloves? I got gloves now. Yee. Oh gosh. Like my finger really hurts because it's just under the nail there where it got paper cutted or cardboard cutted. And it's not fun. And it's not light. He denies us fingies. Why is fingies always censored by YouTube? I say always lately. It didn't used to be, but now it's like every single time someone types thingies, it's like, oh, censored. It's like that one meme that YouTube just decided no, the meme's real. About hand holding and stuff. Fingies are now sad. What do you mean? I've still got fingies, they're just covered in gloves now. And it protects my fingies and my skin from being all messed up by glue and paint and stuff. You should be happy for the fingies. And how this is the naughtiest thing you could ever do? What do you mean? Also, thanks for the cupcake, Dr. Smiley. hand holding is the naughtiest thing ever made. Ever made. Got the sense of the hand holding. And a bit of cowgirl blue will go a long way on this model, I feel.
Couldn't imagine anything so heinous as hand-holding. One shudders to think what depraved thoughts go through the mind of a holder of hands.
I don't even want to think about it. It's the worst thing imaginable, really. You know, you can recognize a hand holder by their love of thingies. Oh no, I said the word. A terrible, terrible word. No. I apologize. Can you ever forgive me? There we go. You said the thingy word live on stream. No, I did it again. Don't cancel me. Holding hands, but you're a dreadnought with dual power claw. Oh my goodness. I think that'll just make it better, you know. It will move some of the issues of hand holding. Make it gorier, but much more family friendly. I like how messages with swear words have been getting through more recently with the auto modding that YouTube does. But then there's a bunch of just random messages with no issues in them at all that just aren't getting through. And I'm like, YouTube. Why do you hand everything over to AI, YouTube? AI sucks. I do like now how AI keeps ruining everything, that more and more people are joining the AI hate dragon. Could a dreadnought of power claws hold with an arc war boss claw? I don't think so, for two different shapes. Arc war boss claw is more... It's got two fingers. One like that, one like that. It's like... While power claws are like 4 fingers in that sort of formation. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'll find one. Oh wait, never mind. All my arcs in the attic. Oh, well, we're waiting for that to dry. Let's see if there's anything... Oh, wait, I've got notifications. There we go. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Anything on the website? No, nothing new on the website. Also, I've got a notification. Oh. You know, I'm just going to have to BRB. I'll be talking. I just need to check something with one of my models. But you're not allowed to see. Don't do any commands. I'll change my model. Oh, it works. God damn, I can't see myself. There we go. Okay, can I change like the hair? Wrong one. This one. Wrong one. No. I'm having to look at my different models. Why do none of these work? Oh, it does work. Never mind. I'm crazy. I'm crazy as it turns out. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I'm back. Hi. Hello, you can do your commands again. I just need to check something on a model that you guys aren't allowed to see. Oh, there we go. So, where's my knifey knife? I got a package. I got a little package that has stuff in it. I already knew you were crazy, but glad you caught up for now. Yeah, I got a bunch more graphics shoulder pads for Black Templars. And bubble wrap. You twist it all up and then it's oh, now it's just a bit of plastic. Ow, my finger. The side of my thumb hurts so much. Make one that it's either a redacted model or the redacted model. My money's on the redacted one. Yeah. Right on the money. There we go. Oh, the side of my thumb hurts so much. I think it's because it's got the constant pressure of the glove on it now. What do I want to do? I think I want to do the... If you look at the front, you can see on the camera a lot easier than I can see in real life. All of the issues on the front. Actually, I don't mind it. It just looks dirty and dusty. So I'm thinking, I want to do the blue highlights at the moment. I'm going to get some Caligor blue out. Delivered, yep. So I'm just checking all the messages I'm getting. We got Caligor blue. I think that's a really good highlight to colour. Yeah, I still don't know what to do about these edges here. Maybe just throw a bunch of known oil at it. Maybe that will make it look good. Oh, I forgot to do the blue on these things. I think I went a bit too overzealous with the known oil on them. What even makes this Caligor blue as opposed to just ultramarine highlights? Did you know ultramarine is a real colour? And it's where the ultramarines get their name. And it makes them sound cool though, doesn't it? For ultramarines. They're like marines, but ultra. In reality, it's just a blue and it means ultra sea blue colour. It's just very, very blue. I think I want to just use a proper dry brush with this. I'm struggling to get it to pick up the colour. Maybe we need a brighter orange. Maybe that will help with the rust. Like, not contrast, something I can dry brush on instead. In hindsight, for blue parts need rust. Nah. For blue parts are fine without rust. But blue parts are newer. I like for to imagine that the chimeras had been rusting on a scrap heap for years before the orcs stole them. Or maybe not even on a scrap heap, for rusting on the field of battle and the orcs stole them. Painted pictures of my orcs being kinda cowardly. Or kind of being ill-prepared to fight the planetary defenders. Did the orcs scrap some poor dreadnought? They scrapped some parts of an Imperial Knight and some parts of a dreadnought. Well, not a dreadnought, a death dread. And an impulsor. And then some just random vehicles and stuff. And 3 chimeras, one of which was not STC compliant yet. No one likes STCs though. Oh, my friends. Oh, the cool guys get what's it called? Vaccinations. Definitely some tech heresy going on in these here parts. It's orcs, there's no such thing as tech heresy. To be fair to the Planetary Defense Force, they aren't part of the Imperium. They're not chaos either, they're just been a long time since the Imperium was out in this part of space. Or carried any real influence with it. So, at the very least. The people of the Planetary Defense Force went and did their own thing. I like the idea that they're in league with a photon though. Like, there's something deep in the planet that's very important. Why Necrons are around, it's why the Gene Stealer cult's around, it's why the Photon are around. But yeah, they did a deal with like this Photon mining expedition group saying, hey, yeah, you can have mining rights in this planet as long as you're helping us out. And there's a split of resources. The Gene Stealer cult were initially just a group of miners that were like friends of the Photon, and were like, yeah, we're learning new things from the... No, we're not from the Photon, but you know, for Leagues of Photon. The kin. I keep wanting to call them Photon just because that's what the faction name is, and it's very clear who I'm talking about. Whereas if you say kin, it's a much less clear. Especially to people who aren't very into Warhammer. Oh god. Oh yeah. The Photon, the planetary defenders, they're in a regional space that the Imperium's not had a lot of influence in for quite a long time. And that's one of the reasons the Crusades in this part of the space. The Templar Crusade, that is. So the planetary defense force is like, you know, we've not had to pay tithes to Imperium for a long time, and we don't care about the Imperium. We're doing stuff our own way with the help of these here kin. You're gonna go bye-bye. Remember to stay hydrated, Dr. Smilex, and to eat well. The orcs were already on the planet in that region of space, just you know, scattered tribes mostly. But when the Templar Crusade came, and so did the Tyranids. We didn't really realise the Tyranids were there in the Gene Stealer cults until it was a bit too late, and the Photon and the tunnels fighting these Gene Stealers. And meanwhile, the Planetary Defense Force is trying to figure out what the hell to do about all the different threats appearing. And it turns out that for some Necrons who are very interested in what's deep below the surface of this planet, that the Photon were after. And the Photon didn't even tell them that was this thing under the planet. That's the real reason for there. And they're like, oh my gosh, what are we even doing? Poor Planetary Defense Force. The Gene Stealers. Yeah, they'll steal your Levi's. And sell them on eBay. Or Finted. Oh my gosh, the only things I've heard about Finted are the adverts and people complaining about Finted. Oh no, the worst place, the worst place for something to be stolen from you and then to be sold on. Facebook Marketplace. Oh my goodness. That's got to be the worst one of them all, isn't it? Like, that's just insult to injury there. buy Warhammer from Vinted. Nah. The place I mostly go for cheaper Warhammer is eBay and pawnbrokers and CAX and stuff. They like really old models and Vinted. If it's still in for packs, sure, I'll buy them. Well, I'll be tempted to buy them. If they're not in for packs, I'm much less tempted to buy them. One, you don't know when it's just a cheap recast that looks okay in the pictures. That's one of the big things. But the second thing is, you can't really convert or do much of them when it's like that. And I think half the fun is building and converting models. I mean, you don't know how someone put a model together. Like, did they use super glue? Did they use plastic glue? Did they use lead-based paints to paint it because they're crazy? That's just you being paranoid? Kind of, but I've been, what's it called? Scratched before by it. I've been hurt before by these things, so... Okay, how is this looking now? Like an absolute mess. Oh, I do not feel happy about this model, to be honest. When I buy Warhammer boxes from Vinted, they send me a box full of asbestos. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm worried about. Thanks, Talan. It's happened like 5 times before for me. And that's when buying legit. Which, to be honest, is a really good price for all this asbestos. Wait, what are you paying? What are your asbestos prices? Asbestos is really cheap. I feel like I've barely done anything of a model today. Okay, here we go. So we did add more DACA for Orc Skull, added bits of highlights to the rust, went over the blues. And what was the first thing we did? We did something else. Oh yeah, did all the edges of the corrugated metal. You cannot buy asbestos. It is illegal because it causes cancer and some other things. Science does not... Actually, no, you can buy asbestos. It's just illegal to use it in lots of different ways. But there's a lot of ways that asbestos is still used. Because it has some extremely good properties. But the thing is you have to use it in a very specific manner according to regulations. Go and buy me a box. It doesn't come in boxes, it comes in sealed tubes. You silly Billy. They still use it in things like where they need something to be highly flame resistant. Actually comes in bags, suppose. The ones I've seen were in sealed tubes. And it came as rolls of fabric. Oh. Where is? Wonder it goes to a cancer. No! Also, don't say that word. YouTube hates it. Oh, but here's our vehicle today. If you've not liked the stream, please give it a like. I can't stay on for too much longer on the stream because we've got another stream today. I've got the oh gosh, my back, sorry. I've got a member stream today, yeah, and we're gonna be building stuff. Do you want to see what we're gonna build? When you're adding, we've already done for known oil. We did a bunch of known oil and Agrax of shade on, you know, all of, well, basically all over the entire model. Like, look at all that stuff. That's known oil. So, yawning. But yeah. Later today we got a member stream and we're going to be building these fellas. The dwarven hold iron breakers. Or more importantly, those ones. Making weird noises. Those, they don't look oily enough. Maybe we'll add some more. Iron drakes, that's the word. Iron drakes. Yeah. We can build 20 iron breakers or iron drakes. Yeah. I think we're going to be building 2 squads of 10 of them. Later today. I prefer round hex bases than those square ones, but we have to use the square ones for Old World. I kind of prefer the square ones because you can put them together and it makes nice little, you know, ordered patterns. Ow, I just hurt my finger again. It hurts so much. But thank you everyone. Big love hearts. Thank you for coming to the stream today. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Remember to work hard but play harder. Sleep well. Eat good food. Take care of yourselves and be kind to others and vice versa. And remember to dream of cupcakes, but don't eat cupcakes because they're friends and not food. Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye. Wait. Bye-bye. Big ol' love hearts. See some of you later today. Yeah. And don't forget to like the stream and subscribe and all that cool stuff. Yeah. Love you all.